Well, a good and glorious morning to you. We're recording this a day after finishing the previous video. And as always, you look back and say, well, I should have said this, or I didn't say that, or maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that, but we've already got the videos produced and we've got this. So let's roll title and come back. Well, all righty, we are back, and what we're going to talk about now is the wire specs, because this gets to be very expensive, because we've got several $100s worth of gear in there on the not the router, but the backbone, the 100 gig backbone, and of course the 2.5 main switch that we have in there. We've got some money tied up in that. Those are different videos. I don't think I've shot those yet, but anyway, they're there. And then we've got to do the premises wiring, and with the keystones, we haven't done the keystone video yet, but we've got stuff going on there. All of the boxes and stuff, you can get into some money real fast. So the question is, what do you need to do when we want to look at these wire specs? Well, the first thing I want you to do is understand just the basic concepts, not specifically numbers. I don't want you to worry about that, but we will talk about the stand-up Amazon marketers that we find out here. So let's start with, I think, the first picture that we've got going on here. All right, now what this is, if we put the mouse down here, we see this is the UTP. They're unshielded, as you can see. This is CMR cable, riser cable, and as you can see, this is the structure that I actually liked at the time, and I've commented on the previous video. It's a little bit on the blurry side, but you see it's extra thick and it protects. I think it protects maybe on the hard pulls where you're pulling through holes and maybe multiple stories at an angle without damaging the wire, and I think that's the big deal. What we don't want to do is damage a cable, get a kink in there, and I even spend a little bit of time on the whirly birds or the distribution boxes, whatever the pull-em box. They work well, but what you don't want to do is get a good kink. You get a good kink in your cable, and you might sacrifice just as much as if you had a bad connection. So that's what I like, particularly when I was just searching for a wire. And I was looking for something like this, which would be a normal one. This happens to be, as you can see, it's got no cross in it. It doesn't have this little blurry, I apologize, but see that little cross in there that helps separate the bundles just a little bit to keep crosstalk down between the individual twisted pairs. And so we have a twisted pair, and they're actually oriented just by some miracle the same. This is the blue and the blue and white, and the blue and the white and the blue right here. It's just right there. And so I was looking for something like that. As I told you in the previous video, my hole through the plate where I was trying to pick an auger size to avoid hitting nails and ruining that is I figured my 6 runs of this size cable, and I actually bought this, which turned out to be bigger than what we really were able to fit down through those holes, and it caused me another little stumble. It wasn't so much we couldn't fix it, we just had to take a hole saw and get through the top 2 plates above where we pulled it through. But yeah, this has a big difference in how the wire works. Now, the difference between the 6 and 6A and 7 is not even official yet, but what we've got going on there, I think, are different Amazon stand-up marketers going on there. And let's look at an example of that. Let me go ahead and switch the page down here on below, and I want to talk a little bit about the crosstalk as we go. Now see, from this picture, you can see we're pulling quite a bit of cable to one end of the house. That's left and right ends, plus some of the rooms for themselves. There's that lovely little 4 wire. Now these, I don't think in this CMX that I showed you in the previous video, I don't think these are actually twisted pair. I think they're just old telephone lines, pot lines, plain old telephone lines. I did find that bundle, as I mentioned to you guys. I need to turn my sound off so we don't hear the dink every time. So we have this picture. When we look at the crosstalk, what I was talking about here, let me move that picture back. Every time I lift the mouse, it ding-dongs. See, we've got quite a bit there. And the extra thick jacket that you just saw, one screen before, this, I think, helps maybe separate the bundle effect where we're taking, actually, this cable is designed to not be too close. And look at what difference just that little piece of plastic makes between the 5E and the 6A. Not a whole lot there, but if you're going to pull a lot of cables, it's probably good to have them big enough for you to see them. It's not going to hurt. Pull around the rough wood, that kind of stuff. Who knows when you might catch a tip of a nail going through a hole that you just drilled through. So we have that going on. But when we look one more picture, here's a clean up, closer picture, and you see, yes, there's that CMX, and here our bundle. What we've got, this says, this was an early run, obviously, because it says it's 456 feet on that particular line. And it says, if you'll notice right there, 650 megahertz is what this manufacturer says it's good for. Here we do. This is a competitor, and this is where I think we get into a little bit of that stand-up Amazon marketer, because I think what they're doing is coalescing the vapor of the marketing experience into a logical and understandable presentation. Here they say this is good up to 750 megahertz. We just saw that previous, what I bought says it would go up to 650 megahertz. So we see this sweet frequencies up to, anytime you see the word up to, that ought to be a little bit of a red flag raiser. Up to 750 megahertz. It's got the same basic configuration. It looks like the same thing, even a similar spools. I would almost willing to bet this came from the same factory in China. The difference is this happens to be a different, quote, brand name that we have. Now, if we go back one, I think is where I have it in order. We have the same manufacturer. It says it's 23 gauge Cat 6A, which is what I got, wall rated, CMR. It's riser rated, 500 feet, pure copper. We don't, at least I don't want the clad stuff, but it says 750 megahertz. ETL listed, UTP, which is unshielded twisted pair, I believe, bulk, gray, and of course different colors. But look down here on the bottom in our transmission performance. We don't have anything above 650 in their own chart. So is this stand-up marketing right here where we have the 750 megahertz? If you cut the wire short enough, yes, I'm sure you can get 750 out. So I don't think they're necessarily, fraudulent. If you cut it short enough, sure enough, I bet we can probably get 750, even though we have it rated here at 650, just like the wire that I bought. Well, let's see if I can find that other picture. I've got a chart. Okay, well, let's do this one then. This is what I bought. It's the only roll I have left that's got enough wire on it to maybe go all the way out from upstairs down that front corner where we're going to put a camera. All the others I'm down to 30 feet, maybe 40 feet. But see, it says clearly 650 megahertz. There we have it. 2-hour chart. This is a handy chart I pulled up because I want to hit this distance, especially when I'm spending your money. Actually, I'm not spending your money. You're spending your money, but I don't want to lead you to the wrong conclusion. I asked Google, find me a good chart on Cat 3 to Cat 7 cable, and you can't see all the rest of the question, but I just want to see it at various distances and speed. Cat 3. Now, what I showed you in my project was left over from 2-pair. And why did I use 2-pair? Because it would work for telephone and it will work for Ethernet, because you only need 2 pairs. The brown and the blue and the orange is all you need. Now, making up the ends, the patch cords are a booger with only 4 wires. But if you're just putting it in wall, it works just fine to have dedicated 2 lines of phone or dedicated. Hey, appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, if you will. Subscribe to the channel, either the YouTube or the Rumble channel, which this appears in. And if you can, check the notification bell or settings to make sure that you get notified when new videos are posted. Appreciate it. Dedicated Ethernet. And remember, this particular cat can be 2-pair, 3-pair, or 4-pair. Back in this day. So you could have a 3-pair and have a pot line in the middle on the blue pair and use the other 2, the green and the orange, for Ethernet and have both. But it's obsolete, it's old and dead, and it says its maximum frequency was 16 megahertz, 10 to 16 megabits per second. Ooh, at 100 meters. Well, if we go all the way through, this is 5 and 5E. The gray was 5E. It says, if you'll notice, it's basic home and office. That'll still work for you in most cases, especially if you have short runs that you're pulling. You don't necessarily have to fall for the gimmickiness of this, like we just saw, that one manufacturer claiming to be 750 megahertz. If you were up to, and they don't really say at what distance that's good for. Is that for 10 feet? Or 15, or does it drop off, at the end there? So it's a distance. It's a function of the distance. When we look back at this, we'll see this in the notes. We even have Cat 7 as asterisk, which says, hey, it's not even really a standard at this date. It's not yet. No, 6A is as far up as we go. Future-proof home and land. So if you want to pay for 6A like I did, go for it. But 6 is probably going to do you a good enough job, because here, notice this. It's 1 gigahertz, it's 1 gigabit, but will do 10 gigabits at 55 meters or less. And so how far is 55 meters or less? Now, it says its maximum frequency is 250. Well, here's something I want to talk about. It's been a while, been a minute, probably been 15 years. I have one piece of red wire that used to go from the dining room or the Studio O, the office, all the way up 2 stories across the attic, down 2 stories into behind the exterior wall where we had a router for the TV. So we shortened it all down there. We were DSL, and DSL works like a pot line, except it's combining 2 signals over the same pair of wire, and then they split out. You can either split them out and use line 2 like we did, or do them with just the filters. I didn't like the filters throughout the house, so I had them just separate out at the premises box, put a filter there, and that way I just separated the DSL, this digital subscriber line, to the orange pair, and then I didn't have to use the goofy little filters at every single telephone just to get the telephone out without crapping it out. Worked fine. But in that environment, I went up and over the top with a wire it was a stranded, a flexible, it's a booger to cut and make up, but it was made, and they said it was 350 gigahertz or megahertz. In the real life example of where I have it running now, I do have it cut, and I've used other pieces of it and replaced some of it, but it will do 5 gigabits right now from the first floor to the second floor into the switch. It's a short distance. It's a fairly short distance. It says it's 350. We'll do that. And at that speed, I can do it. Now, I'm pretty sure I could get that same wire to do the 10 gigabits if I had a short enough run. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you know in your house or wherever you're going to run, if you have everything 60, 70 feet or less, you might be able to save some money and get your Cat 5E if you can get a special bargain on it. I would certainly, I think in my mind, buy the Cat 5E all copper before I got some cheap copper clad aluminum that said it was 6 or 6A. You don't have to go 6A if you're going to keep everything short anyway. And that's what that little chart is saying to us. It talks about, less than 55, it'll do 10 gigs, right? Cat 6 will do that. Well, like I said, I got a fairly short run. I think the Cat 5E, which is what that red wire was, I think, this says 100 megahertz. Mine on the cable said it was 350 megahertz, which is even higher than Cat 6, according to this chart. But let's look at this down here. It says for most homes, 1 gigabit, 5E will work. Well, short run, that's what I'm trying to hammer on, because that cuts your crosstalk down. The crosstalk, the capacitance, the inductance of the wire itself that it may pick up from how it lays, all of that's going to be a function of how long your wire is. So keep it short and it works. That's why in the previous video I said, well, whoever it was, that Tom's Hardware, whatever Google pushed on me, that said, look, this Brit got gigabit Ethernet working in a house off his old telephone wire. That's not a big surprise. As you can see the difference between the quad wire, that brown wire, and then the Cat 3, same gauge, same number of wires. It's just the Cats have twisted pairs because you're doing receive and transmit. When you're doing a plain old telephone line, especially if you only have one line, there's nothing to get the crosstalk with, so it works fine. But yeah, if you're going a short enough distance, and if depending on where it was in England, they have some pretty small houses, it's probably a short piece of wire. Of course it works. That's not a big stretch. Let's look back at this one more time at these notes. So we use fast home office 1 to 10 gigabits. All right, Cat 6. Right, 10 at less than 55 meters or about 55 meters. You got short runs like maybe in England. Maybe that's all you need. You may not have to spend that extra for that little A that may be stand-up Amazon marketing anyway. But then it's future proofing. That's a little bit, supposedly a little bit better. And of course, Cat 7, which I don't even think exists. And I think what S/FTP, I think that is shielded twisted pair. Okay, so I think what we've got with this, unless you've got like welders in the shop or something, or a transmitter site next to you or something like that, I can't see anything heavy contactors that you would need a shielded twisted pair for. And it's not even a standard. I don't know how you make up the ends on both sides. I've never used that. Now, distance versus speed, if we see down here toward the bottom, if this is still transmitting well to you on the recording, the 100-meter rule. Almost all of the categories of Cat support their rated maximum speed up to 100 meters. That's 328 feet. Do you think you're going to have a run that's going to be 328 feet? No. Well, if you don't, if it's only going to be 50, 60 feet, maybe 70, maybe you don't have to waste the money on those extra little A's. That's all I'm trying to say. The E's and A's, the old 5E, probably... I've got a run of it from up here all the way down to the first floor. It's a smaller diameter than this UDP. And so I've got it down in that room because it's better to have it down there, even if it's limited to 5 gigs instead of a full 10, or I get gig out of it. It's still better than Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi has to fight the same airwaves in the same airspace with everything else. So that's why I like it. Anyway, that's all of this particular video. I appreciate you watching. I would have tacked it on the other one while you were in the mood, but quite frankly, that was long enough as it was. And I just want to come back and hit this. It's a personal choice. You know your premises that you're going to wire up. Do you fall victim to the coalescence of the marketing experience into an understandable thing? I don't know. It's just, don't get all choked up over the speed off the top of your head. I mean, you want to pay for it and you can afford to, go ahead. I would always go copper over copper clad. I would prefer to go up in the ranks. 6. Right now, 6A is the fastest quote we officially got. But you did see that one company claiming to be 750, but yet even their own paperwork didn't seem to support it. So I'm happy with the cable I got, which was a different brand. You can go back and see if you can pick the name of it out there from that one picture, that white spool. Good luck with your installation, and we'll talk a little bit about the keystones here on the next video. Appreciate you.